What's going on, YouTubers? And we're waiting for our Facebook family to come on here in a second. Today's video is going to be called "What If Everything Is All Your Fault?" In the mind. And so we're going to go into that here in a second, as soon as they pop online. And here they go. Here we go. All right, YouTubers, Facebookers, how are you doing today? I hope you're doing well. This is your guy, DeMarcus, for your afternoon, midnight, daytime, nighttime, dinner time, all the time. You know, people in pizza, it's on the bagel. You can eat pizza anytime mix. All right, so let's get started. We got some powerful stuff in here today. Today's video is called "What If It Is All Your Fault?" And it's all in the mind is the second part of that. Now I know a lot of people are like, uh-oh, I know I ain't watching this video because I don't need to know what's my fault, but just bear with me here. We're back to our book, powerful book. I got book club tonight, as you guys know, Think and Grow Rich. Today's chapter is on auto-suggestion. I want to read you something. I want to talk about it, and I want you to think about it because you know I always want you to think through things. So I'm going to read you this first of all. All right, so it says here, remember, when reading aloud the statement of your desires, the mere reading of this is no consequence unless you mix emotion or feelings of your words. Let's see here. Without mixing emotion or faith with your words, you will experience no desirable results. Okay? So I want you to think about something that you want, and I want you to think about how badly you want it, and I want you to think about what you're putting towards it to get what you want. Are you putting towards it positive energy, negative energy? Are you putting towards it any energy? And if you are you putting towards it the emotion that you really want it? Or are you just saying, I want it? Now, there's a difference. If you're just saying, I want something, then you are not going to get it. You have to put a little bit of something else in there. And based on this Think and Grow Rich book, it actually says that it's all our fault. And I'm going to go into why here. So it says, your subconscious mind recognizes and acts upon only thoughts which have been mixed well with emotion and feeling. Okay, wait a second. So our subconscious mind is pretty much what controls us when we're not thinking. Okay, so if our subconscious mind, once again, recognizes and acts upon only thoughts which have been mixed well with feelings and emotions, that means we are only going to receive the things that we are truly wanting and have faith that we will receive, right? That includes money. That includes success. That includes stronger family. It's whatever you deem it to mean and choose. That's what that means, right? So let's go a step further. So here it says here, in the great majority of instances, he does not exercise it. Actually, hold on, let me go back up. Let's see. Nature has built man so absolute that he has absolute control over the material which he reaches in his subconscious mind. He has control over what he thinks about, right? That's here. From thoughts to subconscious mind. There is a transfer, okay? Now, through his 5 senses. Through this, although this is not meant to be constructed as a statement that man always exercises control. We don't always choose to have absolute control over our destinies and our lives. In great majority of instances, he does not exercise this, which means and explains why so many people go through life in poverty. Now you're like, wait a second. So that means that I'm thinking myself into poverty. Think about that. You're thinking yourself into your financial situation. The hardest thing that I ever had to come across in my own mind that you will have to do too if you want anything different is that the exact place you are right now, good or bad, happy or sad, money, success, friends, depression, any of that, all of that is a responsibility and the problem that you have created for yourself. That's the hardest part that I had to go through. And the hardest thing I had to get into is that I created what I'm sitting in right now. I created my muck, as I like to say, right? So in here it says, in the great majority of instances, he does not exercise. He does not exercise absolute control over his material, which explains why so many people go through life in poverty. So let me go back one more page, because this is a really good chapter, and I'm going to read you this. Through the dominating thoughts which one permits to remain in the conscious mind. Now, conscious mind starts off with dominating thoughts, which means we're thinking, what I'm going to eat today, or I wonder if I'm going to be late, or I wonder what my kids are wearing, or do I have enough money in my bank account, or this, anything that you're thinking up front is your conscious thought. What you're thinking behind the scenes, things that are going on that you're not even paying attention to, those are your subconscious thoughts. Now, understand that subconscious thoughts can easily turn into conscious thoughts can turn into subconscious thoughts. remember I was talking about also, whenever when you start growing, you come in there and you're an infant, and you're completely and utterly new, and you're a blank slate. And as things can start to bombard you, and you start to gain control and start to realize the different rules and regulations of society, you start to develop different subconscious pillars which govern your life, which is why you have to break those. So it's telling us how to break those, and it's telling us that the things that we think are creating our situation. So here I want to read this. Through the dominating thoughts which one permits to remain in the conscious thought or conscious mind, whether those thoughts be negative or positive is immaterial. It doesn't matter. The principle of autosuggestion voluntarily reaches out the subconscious mind and influences it with these thoughts. So why did I bring that up, and why did I thought that was important? So we've got a piece of here. We got subconscious mind, and we got the conscious mind, right? So what it's saying is that what we think becomes, and what we put energy into, and what we put feeling into, and what we mix with faith and belief becomes our reality, right? So here's what I want you to think about. Those of you who need more money, I don't need you to talk about how much money you need, whatever. Those of you who need more money, I want you to think about something. Because also on there I said, whatever you think about in your conscious mind, no matter if it's good or bad, will become part of your everyday program. It will program you, right? So here's the deal. You start thinking about how broke you are, and you start getting scared, and fear kicks in. Well, guess what? Fear is a very strong emotion. When you have fear, the only reason you have fear is because you believe it's true. So in essence, fear is the presence of belief, but on a negative side, right? So think about this. When you start thinking about the negative things in your life that are happening, when you start thinking about all the bad things that are going on in your life, what you're actually doing is creating your reality of being broke. We create our poverty mindsets. Our poverty mindset is 100% dictated by the thoughts we think on a constant basis. If you decide to say, I am and I have all this abundance, I have all this money, I'm consistently thinking it, then you will have it, because not only do you think it, but you must believe it, and you can trick your subconscious into giving it to you. Like, oh, wait a second, he's got all this money, we've got to give it to him. I'm telling you, it works. But what I wanted you to just see, and what I wanted you to pay attention to here is this. The negative side of it is when you think something negative about an idea or a thought, especially money, you normally have a fear behind it, especially if you don't have money and you don't know where your bills are going to be paid or where you're going to get your next meal from, and you're thinking negatively. You will only generate a negative result. Only. There's no way to do it any other way. But when you start thinking positively and say, I have enough money and I will eat tomorrow, and things of that nature, the universe, God, infinite intelligence, what they call it, all of these things are the same, and they will actually help you to establish. Because here's the other thing, I didn't read this, but it's just as important as everything else I just said in here. It said, and when I read it, I was like, oh gosh, that's kind of powerful. There's a word in here I'm looking for. And I'm sorry, because I have these things ready to go. It basically says that whatever you start to think, okay, so while the subconscious mind, on the other hand, will give you what you plan or what plans you need, be alert for these plans when they appear and put them into action immediately. When the plan appears, they will probably flash into your mind through a sixth sense in the form of inspiration. Treating it with respect and acting upon it as soon as you receive it, because failure to do so will be into your fatal success. Now, if you choose to follow some instructions but neglect others, you will fail. Oh, that's in this book. Hold on, that's not the one. Oh, here it is. Do not trust your reason when you create your plan for accumulating anything, money, anything. Trust through transmutation of desire. Your reasoning is faulty. Moreover, your reasoning faculty may be lazy, and if you depend entirely upon it to serve you, you may be disappointed. So not only if you take the time to try to figure out everything and have to know all the ins and outs and the details and try to control it and think through, your reasoning in itself is faulty, because it's been based on a subconscious notion and pillars that have already been built to be faulty. So in other words, as you think and you're not thinking positive thoughts, and you want to reason and you want to think it through, you're actually creating in yourself a bad thing. It's not good. It's not good at all. I'm just saying. So all I'm gonna say is this: you must think positive thoughts. You must be aware of what you're thinking. You must put faith and energy behind what you're thinking and the belief system that you can get anything. If you do that, everything is yours. Now, if you have a mindset right now where you believe things, but you're not putting it into practice, or you believe things and it's negative, that negative energy that you're putting to it, if you believe that to be true, that is all you will ever see. If you believe you're broke, your mind will make you broke. How powerful is that? In other words, it is all your fault. That's what I meant by it is all your fault, because it is. How broke you want to be, how successful you want to be, how your family wants to be, all of that, how negative you want to be is all up here. You get to decide what you do with it. And that's all I have to say, because it is all your fault. And it's all about the mind. So think about things in the conscious mind in a positive way, influence it with that belief and that faith, and watch how it'll change your subconscious, which will draw in everything that you just asked for. That's all I have, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you being here. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Once again, I got to go to book club. I appreciate it. But Think and Grow Rich, amazing book. If you haven't picked it up yet, I promise you will not be disappointed. And remember, I believe and I love in each and every single one of you. So thank you so much for being here with me today. And I will talk to you tomorrow. Have a blessed night.